Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is November the 21st, 2022, and today the topic is Envy Not. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you all had a great weekend. Mine was just fine. Oh, yeah, man. A lot of really cool things over the weekend. I mean, I guess on Saturday, that was kind of like a do nothing day from what I remember. Um, yeah, not too much. I think the most significant thing was that the fam we got, well, me and my husband mostly, but we made some spaghetti and whatnot. Which I mean, in my humble opinion, was kind of better than the pizza that we had on that Friday. So I mean, hey, it's something about that cooking at home, right? But yeah, so that's one significant thing. Also, I gave myself, a manicure, so that was something as well, a little unwind, self-care time and everything. I'll talk to y'all more about that later, I guess, because yeah, of course, with my light, y'all can't see it as always. But anyway, but yeah, I did that on Saturday morning, and the rest of the day was kind of like chill and everything like that until we cooked spaghetti dinner. Sunday was also nice, went to church, got a good word, and yeah, started to work on some, different opportunities and whatnot. So to God be the glory for that. I mean, I'm excited. Also on Saturday, you may have noticed, those of y'all that follow me on social media, that I started to promote yet another thing. And that is another endeavor that has shown itself, um, that I'm adding to my repertoire, and we're gonna see what the Lord do. But I guess technically, as of right now, I am now an ambassador for Marriage Reunited. You guys are gonna hear more about Mr. Brent, because he's going to be on a future episode of God, Sex, and Love. But yeah, we've been talking for the past few weeks and whatnot about collaborating, and so right now we're starting off with this, being a brand ambassador for his book and his video that's all about reuniting marriages and everything like that. So if anyone's interested or needed, it's for people that are engaged, people that are married, or people that are separated. Um, you know, all of those different places would be, some good resources for couples to, get a different perspective of marriage and whatnot. I know when Dario and I watched a video together, I want to say not not yesterday, but probably the Sunday before last. And I know that he was like his first reaction was that, it gave him a deeper perspective to look at marriage. So, you know, yeah, so I mean, it's something that I could stand up behind and whatnot. And so, speaking of that, I mean, if you guys want to take advantage of getting a discount on those materials, if you use the code Miracle Video, which is scrolling below, then you'll get $5 off the video. And then if you guys want the book and video, you can get $10 off by using Miracle Combo. So yeah, y'all should be seeing much more about Marriage Reignited and his and hers with these. I'm excited because there's a lot of little ideas on the horizon. Your girl might even become a marriage coach. We gonna see what the Lord do. We gonna see what the Lord do, y'all. But that is just some of the things on the horizon, some of the conversations that are being had. So to God be the glory, man. We're gonna see what happens and everything. But yeah, Marriage Reunited, y'all. Check it out. Check it out. Use those codes. Get your discounts. Okay. But yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what, my exciting news over the weekend or different things that was going on. As for this morning, I did wake up early, but again, I think that word might have just been for me. So what time did I wake up? I can't remember at the moment. But yeah, I was up or whatnot, and I got some messages and everything, so I was responding to that, and then I just kind of got on social media and, ended up watching this influencer and everything like that, and then lo and behold, today's prayer meditation um, was centered all around envy. Um, and I thought it was kind of significant because, again, I think I've shared here multiple times that, I too have played the comparison game in life. I mean, obviously, it was the inspiration for, my book, The Cultivation Period, Um, and yeah, I mean, it's easy to do. You see, especially with social media, right? You see people and what they post and and everything like that. And if you don't have that, whatever it is, then you kind of desire that, right? Um, but I think the thing now, at least what I've been trying to do in life now, is to, when I see someone with something that I desire or whatever, I try my best to just celebrate that person now. That's how I try to shift my mindset in regards to how I look at this whole comparison game and whatnot. And that's helped me. I would say that's helped me significantly. And then also, I think, like they say, the grass isn't greener. And there's some times where I know I learned a lesson through in the midst of the cultivation period, like looking at someone's situation and then not knowing details, right? You only got, again, a sneak peek at their lives. Um, and I think I wrote about it in the book. I'm pretty sure I did. I know it was in my notes about this one time where a friend of mine, we went to go and visit one of her friends, and she had just got this new condo and everything like that. And at the time I was just living in my apartment and stuff. And so I go and see this lady's nice condo, and it just looked nice. It was 2 levels and all this different stuff. And I'm looking around like, wow, this is nice. And thinking about my apartment and thinking about like, miracle, you know, and everything like that. But then we came to her kitchen area, and she was telling us about like the water damage that was there. She was showing us some of the water damage, showing us some things that she needed to work on and whatnot. And I feel like life is just like that. You know, Again, this whole conversation about envy and everything like that is just like that. It's you go in and you see all the beautiful things, and then again, you don't necessarily pay attention or know about the water damage, right? You don't know about the things that need work, what the person had to do to get to where they are and everything like that. Um, Now, I think I was telling this to my sister, I want to say a few weeks ago or last month or whenever. And again, not just trying to puff myself up or anything. If anything, I'm puffing my mom up in the way that she raised us, because at the end of the day, the way we are, um, anything that we have, quote unquote, um, and if someone else doesn't have, we either will give or teach you how to get it. Um, and in some ways, I'm like, I could monetize this skill. I'm like, but at the same time, I'm like, it's just something we just freely give. And I know that my friends commented on that during the 1,000th episode celebration. I had a couple of friends that came on and they spoke of me, and I guess how I've encouraged them and whatnot, and how I was there for them and whatnot. Which to me, I'm just like, well, hey, people have been there for me, and y'all have been there for me. And it's just kind of paying it forward to me. But it can be significant, right? That if sometimes you just can just talk to the person, right? If there's something that you see in somebody else or desire, whatever the case is, sometimes it might just be easy for you to just go and talk to that person and see, can you get some type of wisdom or knowledge to get to where you want to be. Um, but sometimes I think we just, maybe we're afraid, maybe we're like um ashamed. Um, but yeah, I mean, sometimes it's like we don't have to be, right? We don't have to be ashamed or afraid. Um, but anyway, those are just some side thoughts in regards to envy. But again, today the topic is envy, not so. Yeah, that's what I ended up, looking up verses centered around this morning, and yeah. So let me get into that. Let me get into that. So 1 Corinthians 13:4 says, love is patient and kind. Love does not envy or boast. It is not arrogant. Um, as I was thinking about the comparison game this morning, I ended up looking up, I just kind of Googled that phrase. And the interesting thing is, obviously, it's not new. Yeah, it's just something that I called it personally. But apparently, other people call it the same concept. This whole idea of envy and whatnot. It's out here, basically, the comparison game. And it was interesting that I saw a lot of Christian content around the comparison game as well. So I thought that was kind of a unique thing to think about, or to see. But in the midst of the things that I saw, um, I did come across this lady that was sharing about a game she created or whatnot, and how she's teaching young kids about this idea of the comparison game and not to envy and everything like that. And she talked about how when you play the comparison game, it's either like one or two ways. Either you're puffing yourself up, right, and boasting, right, or you're on the flip side feeling like you don't have, or you're not as good, or whatever the case is. And so yeah, again, I feel like the Lord wants us to be in like a little happy medium. Um, and I think it's all about our mindset and the way that we choose to look at the different situations. Again, I shared with you guys earlier how I try to tackle this envy or comparison game, or whatever it is that tries to tempt me to be coveting my neighbor, right? Instead of coveting my neighbor, I try to celebrate my neighbor. Um, if I know the person or whatnot, I try to uh, seek the wisdom, or use it as inspiration to understand that, again, God is not a respecter of persons. What He can do for other people, He can do for me. And yeah, I try to use that as motivation and encouragement to keep going in the things that I want to do. And so, or whatever I want to have and everything like that. And so that's just something to think about, y'all. But let's keep going. So Proverbs 14:30, it says, a tranquil heart gives life to the flesh, but envy makes the bones rot. Ooh. That sounds like some pulp, right? Um, I don't think I like the idea about my bones rotting, but I think it's also a beautiful illustration of this, because it's telling us, again, having a tranquil heart gives life to the flesh. Um, and that sounds like a beautiful thing, giving life to the flesh, a tranquil heart. Again, when you're celebrating someone else, then it shifts the mindset again from envy to celebration, to joy, to excitement, to whatever the feelings that you feel, life-giving feelings, and everything. So again, it's just something to be said about renewing our minds in this season and beyond, right? James 3:16, it says, for where jealousy and selfish ambition exist, there will be disorder and every vile practice. Whew, there might be some more pup, y'all, but I mean, that's something to keep it in the back of our minds, that at the end of the day, um, yeah, we don't want to be out here operating in these things, jealousy and selfish ambition and whatnot. Um, every now and then I have to check myself as well. It's like, okay, well, Miracle, what is it that you want, right? Why do you want X, Y, and Z? I've been sharing with you guys, I feel like, oh, I need more money. Why is that though? Like, is it because, now for me, I feel like it boils down to the fact that I want to do more stuff. Like, I want to make more books, I want to make a movie, there's just more things I want to do. So, now is it for my selfish gain, or is it for the edification of the kingdom? Those are the things you have to sort out and think about, and whatnot. Like, what are your motives behind the things that you do or want to do, or want to have? Again, are you just trying to get the latest rims or the latest Tims, right? Or are you trying to, build generational wealth and, you know, do what you can to expand the kingdom? Like, it's just because that's probably going to go or be a factor in certain things as well. It's going to be a factor in like um how quickly you get certain things or whatever. Like maybe the Lord isn't going to open any doors for you to just buy some more shoes, right? But He might open doors if you gonna provide shoes for the neighborhood. I'm just saying. I don't know. We got to think. We got to check our motives. I know I talked about having a heart check or something like that a while back. I don't know when that was, but that was like some juices ago, so ages ago. But yeah, that we need to think about that as well, because again, we don't want to be operating in jealousy or selfish ambition, because as it says here, every vile practice is the result of that. So something to think about. Proverbs 23:17 says, "Let not your heart envy sinners, but continue in the fear of the Lord all the day." Well, y'all, I mean, there you go. I mean, I know I've been there too, y'all. I've been there too. It's easy to look at the unbeliever and be like a little bit jealous, envious. Like, man, it seems like they so free. They can do whatever they want to do. I've been there, man. I've been in that place. I'm like, Lord, you got me caring about X, Y, and Z, and all the rest of these people just going and they living their life and they do what they want to do. And I'm feeling some kind of way about it, right? But it's telling us that it's, that we need to keep the fear of the Lord and not be jealous of people that are doing that. Because at the same time, too, again, you don't know about the like I said before, the water damage, right? You don't know about that person, like what it really is versus what it looks like. So again, you can be envying or jealous or wanting something that is bad for you, like isn't going to be good for you. So just again, more things to think about, y'all. Again, you guys can go deeper with this. Plenty of verses in the go deeper section to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. But the Bible verse of today is Mark 16:15. It says, "And he said unto them, Go ye into the world and preach the gospel to every creature." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening to this conversation about envy and not. I hope that, again, that you all are encouraged and inspired to not play the comparison game. Try something different. Do something new. We've played this game before. Nobody can win this game. Again, like the lady was saying this morning, either you're puffing yourself up above other people to make you, and boasting, or you're lowering yourself and thinking low of yourself and whatnot. So there's no need to play the comparison game. Try some of these little things that I do, these practical things. Try to, celebrate people instead. Try to use it as encouragement and inspiration. Yeah, that's the juice this morning. And I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.